Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to another session of Every Mark Matters with Mr. McDonald. Today we're having a look at Edexcel Paper 2, Anglo-Saxon and Norman England. And again, today we have got a really lovely explain why question. And again, this is from 2021. This is an absolute dream of a question. Let's have a little look. So our first component is the command phrase. What this means, guys, is you must present 3 reasons. And then explain them. Okay, so there's our command phrase. Let's have a little look at the focus. So our focus of the question is, well, explain why William was able to establish control over England between the period 1067 to 1087. Well, it's simple as why was he able to establish control within the period. Right, so let's have a bit of a think about why he was able to do that. Right, okay, first one, castles. Second one, massive one, harrying of the north. There's loads here you could do about changes in land ownership. You've got plenty. You've got the feudal system. So, finally, let's have a little look at the second order concept. Let's go. So, our second order concept. And for this question, it is causation. For the Normans, it will always be causation or consequence. I suspect it will more likely be a how far do you agree would be a consequence question. So, famine was the main consequence of the harrying of the north. How far do you agree? But in this particular instance, we have got a lovely causation question. And because of that, that means is that we can use phrases such as, this led to, and as a result. Right, so it's a 12-mark question. What you're going to do is you are going to spend 15 minutes writing down 3 paragraphs. Let's have a little look at success criteria. So I'm just going to write that down here. Right. And then finally, so our success criteria, let's have a quick go. We are going to look at AO1 and AO2, and that's your knowledge. And AO2 is your explanation. The quality of your answers is graded in level 3 and level 4. Alright, so that's not a grade 3, it's not a grade 4, it's the qualities, how good your answers are. Right, so in terms of your knowledge, level 3, all you need to do is you need to have 2 precise facts. Oh, sorry, just 2 facts in this one. Just 2 facts per paragraph. And again, for level 4, it's 2 precise facts. I got ahead of myself a moment ago. 2 precise facts per para. Again, moving on to our explanation, it's just simple 2 sentences of explanation per paragraph. And then finally, for level 4, which is what we're all here for, so every single paragraph consists of how, why, so what. So again, if we're doing a paragraph about the harrying of the north, how did the harrying of the north lead to William establishing control over England? Why did the harrying of the north lead to William establishing control over England? So what? What is significant? What is special about the harrying of the north? And how did it help him establish control over England? Ladies and gents, you are going to have 15 minutes. I'm going to suggest you press pause, put all your devices away, set a little timer and have a go. 15 minutes, 3 paragraphs explaining why William was able to establish control over England between the period 1067 to 1071. Ladies and gents, 15 minutes. I'll see you shortly. Thank you. Right, welcome back team, welcome back. So hopefully you have spent 15 minutes there explaining why William was able to establish control over England between the period 1067 to 1071. So let's go. Right, one reason why William was able to establish control over England between the period 1067 to 1071 was the use of motte and bailey castles. Right, so there's my first reason. Alright, so all I've done is I've just answered the question in one sentence. There's my first reason. Now let's have a look at the evidence I'm going to include. I know from my own knowledge that motte and bailey castles were built all over England, but particularly in places which William found a threat to his reign. There's my first facts. These castles were built in place, built on hills, and could garrison William's armies, with William's most trusted followers being placed in dangerous earldoms. Right. So what I've done there is I've got two facts in there. And maybe being quite precise and demonstrating complex knowledge just by simply saying that they're built on hills. It's one of these. It's a piece of knowledge that we all know, but we don't often write. So we can talk about that. And again, if we're looking for precise facts, we could talk about the fact that it's got the dangerous earldoms and trusted followers. There's precise facts as well. Right. Okay. So. You've got it. I've presented the reason. I've got two precise facts in this paragraph. Let's have a little look at my how, why, so what. This allowed William to establish control as it acted as a very physical and public reminder of Norman dominance and power over the Anglo-Saxons. There, ladies and gents, is my how. Let's move on. As a result, the Anglo-Saxons would feel threatened by the Normans as it felt that they were being watched, monitoring the actions of potential rebels. I don't feel that grammatically makes sense. There's my why. However, castles also increased the likelihood of rebellions in the north as Edwin and Morcar wanted to challenge the Norman dominance. There's my so what. So I've said the reason is because of motte and bailey castles. I've got two precise facts. I have done my how, I've done my why, I've got my so what. My so what's quite critical of castles, but I've still used it to demonstrate the importance of it. So, let's go on to my next paragraph. Another reason why William was able to establish control was because of the harrying of the north. Right, I mentioned this a moment ago, there's my AO2, I presented the reason. This was when William poured salt into the farmland, burned down villages, killed livestock, and killed 75% of the northern population. So there's my AO1 plus straight away. But there's a little bit of AO1 here as well, as a punishment for rebellions. I also know that William harried the north as a result of the northern rebellions in 1068 and 1069. Right, you can see, here I am, here's precise. But rebellions in the north stopped after 1069 due to the destruction and fear caused by the harrying of the north. Loads of knowledge here. Right, so I've presented the reason. I've got two precise facts. I've put loads more precise facts in there. Let's have a look at my how, why, so what. This allowed William to establish control as the harrying of the north would act as a deterrence for future rebels and demonstrated the power of the king. Here is my how. As a result of the impact of future rebellions it should be a comma there. Future rebellions would drastically be reduced, which is shown in the events like the revolt of the Earls and Hereward the Wake's rebellion. There's my why. So what? Both of these lacked national support after the harrying of the north, as the Anglo-Saxons were too scared to rebel. So what? Okay, right. So you could see it there. How well the harrying of the north acted as a deterrence. That's how it helped him establish control. Why did it help him? Well, because they were too scared. They were too scared to do it, and we know that because of the revolt of the Earls and Hereward the Wake's rebellion. And then finally, so what? Well, we know what's special about this because they didn't help anyone, any other rebellions after 1069. And then my final reason, let's have a quick look. A final reason why William was able to establish control was because of changes in land ownership. So again, I've presented my reason, there's my AO2. For example, William needed to reward his followers who supported him at Hastings, but also had the opportunity to punish threatening Anglo-Saxons, such as Edwin and Morcar. There's precise facts. And there's some knowledge here as well. Additionally, I also know that William broke up the larger earldoms into smaller earldoms to reduce the power of the earl. This allowed, so again, what you've got is you've got two precise facts, two facts there, and a secret precise fact snuck in there with Edwin and Morcar. This allowed William to establish control as it demonstrated to the earls that William was the main authority in England, as he could reward or punish people in his kingdom as he wanted. So again, there's my how. As a result, the earls would do whatever they wanted. As a result, the earls would do whatever was asked by the king, as they would want to preserve their own power. There's my why. Therefore, changes in land ownership allowed him to manipulate the earls to follow his will. And again, there's my so what. So, if I were to have a little look back at this mark scheme here, let's have a quick go. So, have I got two precise facts in every paragraph? Well, I have in my first one, I have in my second one, I have in my third one. Right, okay. So, I'm certainly level 4 here. Have I got how I so what in every single paragraph? Yes, I absolutely have. So, I'm level 4 for AO1 and AO2. That would put me up 12 out of 12. Easy question, absolute dream question there. 12 out of 12. I'm looking forward to reading yours. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you next time. There we go.